But first, our top story. Violence in Srinagar on Eid after a protest march by separatists went out of control. Mobs went on the rampage, targeting government and police buildings. Violence which the Chief Minister says casts a shadow on the process towards withdrawing or amending the use of the controversial Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
Srinagar, it seems, simply erupted. It was Eid in the valley, but the mood was far from festive. A protest by the separatists meant to be peaceful seemed to lose control. A call by Mirwais for a march from Eidgah to Lal Chowk had potent results. Mobs went on a rampage. First, a police post set on fire outside the Hazratbal shrine. As security forces tried to control the crowds, suddenly in another part of the city, a complex that houses the state's power department and crime branch headquarters went up in flames. Protesters targeted everything that symbolized state authority. The Chief Minister, who after offering Eid prayers in Srinagar was in Delhi on a private visit, blamed the separatists for not honoring their promise and said that this would be a huge setback to the peace initiative that was to be announced on Monday.
I'm here in Delhi to try and ensure that this process remains on track. I'll talk to as many political leaders and others as I can while I'm here, just to try and keep confidence in the process alive, because I don't believe that the silent majority of the people should be punished because of this vocal minority that time and again takes matters into their own hands and creates a problem for everybody else. Obviously, there will be those who will say that how can you make this sort of move forward if violence continues? And I think that is, at a certain level, a very valid point, that in the face of continued violence, how do you have confidence-building measures? Sometimes it's a chicken and egg story. What comes first, the confidence-building measures or the end to violence?
So will these flames also burn down the government's political initiative for the valley? NDTV has learned that the Kashmir announcement is expected after the Cabinet Committee on Security meets on Monday, that the Home Ministry is in favor of amendment to the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. But the army opposes both amendment and the partial lifting of the AF-SPA. And the violence in Srinagar today could severely hamper the proposed dilution of the AF-SPA. But the separatists who put on a show of unity distance themselves from the violence, raising the question of who is in control of Srinagar, if anyone at all.
As far as the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is concerned, this is one of the many measures which the Hurriyat have suggested, that we want the repeal of this Armed Forces Special Powers Act. We believe that half-hearted steps will not take us anywhere. These are mere symbolic gestures. We need some concrete. We need a process-oriented. We need a solution-oriented process. See, it is not helping that, okay, the government is talking to its own people, the CCS is meeting. Kashmir has to be understood in terms of its historical background.
The opposition blames the state government for not doing enough.
It would have been better for them to make an assessment, fair assessment here on the ground, and then respond to the entire situation, control the situation first. I wish that both central and state government turn serious.
Perhaps this explains the anger among the people and the situation government is facing in the valley, and also the urgency the situation requires to resolve the crisis. But for the first time in last 3 months, despite this grave provocation, police exercised utmost restraint. There was no casualty and no bullet injury of any protester or those who attacked and burned down government property today. In Srinagar with cameraman Sheikh Tariq and Amir, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
And Nazir joins us now live from Srinagar. Nazir, very briefly, what's the situation in Srinagar and some other parts of Kashmir now?
Well, Vishnu, situation has been brought under control, but before that, protesters have attacked at least 5 police stations. One, this SP's office in Srinagar. They have been clashed in Pulwama, Sopore, Kunzar, and of course in Srinagar, which has seen mayhem and arson during the day, major government offices being attacked and set on fire. But what has shocked people the most is what violence outside the Hazrat Bal shrine, while the property of Hazrat Bal shrine was also damaged by the mob, and even the digital security and alert system has also been, of this Hazrat Bal shrine has been also damaged. So really that has shocked people. There has been, of course there was the security there in that Waqf building, yet that is the part of the Hazrat Bal shrine and its property. That has shocked the people. But if we say this also reflects the larger collective anger here when people come out for the Eid prayers, yet they resort to these means. Some go for the peaceful protest and some go for violent means of protest, and they attack every symbol of the government as they did it today in Srinagar city. But here we see for the first time in last 3 months, police exercised utmost restraint. Nobody was killed and no one has suffered a blood injury. And perhaps this can set a precedent that they have to deal with the protesters in the valley, where 69 people have already lost their lives during the last 3 months.